The city was a storm, a raging tempest of noise, light, and fury. Cars blared, horns screamed, music pounded from every storefront. Neon signs pulsed, painting the wet asphalt with lurid hues. Rain lashed down, reflecting the chaos back at the sky. But high above the deluge, in a small Spartan room, there was quiet.
Sips tea.
Murad sat by the window, his face impassive. He watched the city unfold beneath him, a silent observer. His room was a sanctuary. Bare walls, a single bed, a worn rug.
Sips tea again.
The bitter tea mirrored his life now, simple, unadorned, predictable. Dawn was breaking, painting the sky with pale streaks of pink and orange, a serene start to another day. Murad went through his morning routine with the precision of a soldier, every action deliberate and calculated. Each movement was economical, practiced and honed over years of discipline, a testament to his unwavering commitment. He moved like a ghost, silent and unseen, a shadow in the dimly lit room. A whisper of a man, barely disturbing the stillness of the room, his presence almost ethereal.
Breathing rhythmically through push-ups, each breath controlled and measured.
He started with push-ups, each one a repetition of a memory, a physical manifestation of his past. A hostage rescue in a crowded marketplace, the chaos and urgency still vivid in his mind. The sharp crackle of gunfire, a sound that haunted his dreams. The coppery tang of blood in the air, a reminder of the cost of conflict. Then came the squats, powerful, controlled movements, each one a testament to his strength and resilience. Protecting a diplomat at a high-profile summit, the weight of responsibility heavy on his shoulders.
Continuing exercises, pushing his body to its limits.
Finally the run, his footsteps echoing in the deserted streets, a solitary figure in the early morning light. He ran until the past was outrun, but the ghosts lingered, always lurking, a constant reminder of missions past. His job was a world away from the high-stakes tension of his previous life. He was a security consultant for a nutrition company, a far cry from the battlefields and boardrooms he was used to. His days were spent reviewing security protocols, checking surveillance footage, and making sure the fire extinguishers were up to code. It was mundane, predictable, boring, and that was exactly how Murad liked it.
Typing on a keyboard.
His colleagues worried about profit margins and marketing campaigns. He worried about escape routes and potential threats. He lived in their world, but he wasn't of it.
Scanning the room.
Even in this mundane world, his past had a way of finding him. The explosion was deafening. It ripped through the air, shattering the monotony of the workday. Papers flew, computers crashed, people screamed. Murad didn't hesitate. Years of training took over. His body moved on instinct, his mind cold and calculating.
Evacuate, now!
He barked orders, herding his terrified colleagues towards the fire exits. His eyes scanned the room, searching for threats. Was it an accident or something more? He didn't have the luxury of time to ponder. He had to act, and act fast.
Coughing, panicking.
Through the chaos, he saw her, Siham, trapped by debris. He pushed his way through the panicking crowd, his eyes never leaving her. Section 5. The Kidnapping.
He reached Siham, pulling her free from the wreckage. He bundled her towards the exit, shielding her from the falling debris. "Stay close," he growled.
He got them out of the building, guiding her through the panicked crowd. The air was thick with smoke and the acrid tang of explosives. Fire trucks screamed down the street. He scanned the crowd, searching for any sign of danger. That's when he saw them. Two men, faces hidden behind ski masks.
He knew instantly this was no accident. This was a targeted hit.
He pushed Siham behind him, his body a shield.
"Run," he hissed. "Don't stop running."
Siham was frozen. Fear, raw and primal, coursed through her veins. She had never seen this look on Murad's face before. The quiet, reserved man she knew from work was gone, replaced by a warrior, his eyes cold and hard. She wanted to argue, to plead with him to come with her. But she knew it was futile. She had glimpsed this side of him before. I'll call for help, she whispered.
But even as she said the words, she knew it was already too late. The men moved with a speed that belied their size, their heavy footsteps echoing ominously in the narrow alley. They fanned out, flanking Murad, their movements practiced and precise. They were professionals, no doubt about it. Each step they took was calculated, every motion a testament to their training. He recognized the cold, calculating glint in their eyes, a look he had seen many times before in the faces of those who live by the sword. One of the men lunged, a glint of steel flashing in his hand, the blade catching the dim light as it arced towards Murad. Murad moved with the speed of a striking cobra, deflecting the blow with a swift, practiced motion. His reflexes were honed from years of survival. They exchanged blows, a blur of fists and feet, each strike a testament to their skill and determination. The alley became a battleground, echoing with the sounds of their fierce struggle.
Murad fought with the honed precision of a man who had walked through hell, his every move a dance of survival and defiance.
He had vowed to keep her safe, to protect her from the shadows that haunted his past. The promise he made was his guiding light, a beacon in the darkness, and he would be damned if he let these thugs take her from him. His resolve was unbreakable, his determination fierce. He fought with the fury of a man possessed, every punch and kick fueled by a deep, unyielding need to protect what he held dear. The intensity in his eyes was unmistakable, a reflection of his unwavering commitment. The street was a whirlwind of motion. People scattered, screaming, fleeing from the violence. The air crackled with tension, the smell of ozone mixing with the coppery tang of blood. Murad felt a surge of adrenaline, sharp and potent. He was alive again. He fought with the cold, calculating precision of a seasoned warrior. Each block, each parry, each strike was a calculated move in a deadly dance. He was outnumbered, but not outmatched.
He moved like a phantom, a whisper of death in the chaos.
And in his eyes a storm was brewing. One of the attackers lay groaning on the ground, his arm twisted at an unnatural angle. The pain was evident in his eyes, a silent plea for mercy that Murad could not ignore. The other, his face a mask of rage and fear, circled Murad. His movements were erratic, driven by a mix of desperation and anger. He lunged again, a desperate, wild swing. His attack lacked precision, fueled more by emotion than skill. Murad caught his wrist, the man's bones grinding under his grip. The strength in Murad's hold was undeniable, a clear message of dominance.
Who sent you? Murad's voice was cold, demanding, leaving no room for evasion.
The man spat a curse, his eyes filled with hate. His defiance was palpable even in his weakened state.
You'll pay for that, he snarled. You and the girl, you're both dead. His words were venomous, a promise of retribution.
Murad tightened his grip, a surge of cold fury coursing through him. The threat against the girl ignited a fire within him. He could break the man, make him talk, find out who was behind this. The power to end this confrontation was in his hands. But something held him back. A sense of restraint, a whisper of wisdom urging him to choose a different path.
Get out of my sight, he said, and tell whoever sent you. They've made a very powerful enemy today. His voice was steady, filled with a quiet menace.
The man didn't need to be told twice. He scrambled to his feet and disappeared into the crowd. His retreat was hasty, driven by fear and the need to survive. Murad watched him go, his eyes cold, his face set in grim determination. He knew this was far from over. He had chosen peace, but the storm was still brewing. The decision weighed heavily on him, a reminder that the battle was just beginning.